Hello and welcome to Accelerate. I am Matt Stone. This is the podcast where we encourage and inspire CEOs, founders, and visionaries on their big leap journeys. We talk about the stories and strategies that will help you accelerate toward your big leap destination with purpose, humility, an open mind, commitment to growth, and recognition that the way we get there is at least as important as where we end up. And I'm so delighted that you've tuned in today. And we have made it to Friday, July 22nd, 2022. Thanks for listening today. And I want to share with you something really, really special to me. I met Dalia Feldheim back in, it was either 2014 or 2015. I was in Singapore after my law career, and I was in a law practice, and I decided to switch it up. And so anyway, long story short, I end up in Japan. Then I go to Singapore for this coach training program. I wanted to see what the coaching world was like. So I go there, and it starts off in Singapore in this hotel, and it was a year-long program. And one of the people there, one of the women in the group, was named Dalia, and she was just so full of energy, from Israel. She was just quite a character. And to be honest with you, there were times when she really annoyed me. I ended up, having more interaction with her just because I wasn't sure what to make of sort of the way that she operated sometimes. And that led to some really great laughs and breakthroughs in our relationship later on as we talked about that openly. That was more my perception than anything. But that's how it all started. But she had this magnetism to her, and clearly very, 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 very smart. And what I did not know is that around that same time, she was a marketing director for Proctor and Gamble. And she was involved with she helped to create the Like a Girl campaign. And I don't know if anyone's seen that. In the US, in the Super Bowl, they ran this ad where these girls and boys are talking about, what does it mean to run like a girl? And, I'm a Gen Xer. So on the playgrounds, growing up, oh, you're a girl, it was a pejorative. It was a put down. And what this ad so brilliantly did in such simple terms was to flip that on its head and say, maybe hitting like a girl, like a baseball bat, or running, or doing sports, or doing anything like a girl, maybe it's a good thing, not a bad thing. These physical activities in particular. So brilliant advertising, disruptive, if you want to put it in like startup terms, very disruptive and important. And I remember being moved by that ad. Well, around the same time I met Dalia, I had no idea that she was involved with all of this at the time. And so I met her in this program, and we did coach training together and stuff like that. And I remember that she left Procter and Gamble. And I remember when she got another job at this other place, and she was like the chief marketing officer. And I remember her telling me this story about her boss, about how he was, his behavior and how toxic it was, and how it brought her to tears one day in his office. And he just very dismissively, basically threw a box of tissues at her in a very condescending way. And it was very okay, you're just an emotional, crazy person. And I remember her telling me this when it actually happened. And I was just like, I don't know what to tell you. I can't believe that someone would do that. And yet this does happen, and much worse. Well, she took that experience and her marketing genius and her experience at Procter and Gamble, and then going on to get an organizational psychology degree at INSEAD. She took all of that, and she's now written a book. And so it's just so special. It's called Dare to Lead Like a Girl: How to Survive and Thrive in the Corporate Jungle. It's out now. It's not just for women and girls. Okay, this is for everyone. We talk about empathy and leadership and having heart and compassion. That's really what this is about. It's about people-centered leadership in the workplace and in life. She covers everything from, relationships at home to being in the office. But I want to read to you from the preface, because I think it's really, really powerful. It's the story behind the story, what it means to lead like a girl, in the preface to this brand new book. In 2014, I was the marketing director for FemCare, always Tampax brands, at Procter and Gamble. And I was working with my global marketing team to rework the equity of the brand. We were redesigning our feminine pad and wanted to create a marketing campaign that was more purpose-driven. After deep consumer insight work and realizing the impact an effective pad had on a girl's self-esteem, we aligned to shift our focus from the functional benefit of protection to that of a higher order life benefit, empowering women to be the best that they could be. This equity reinvention led to a global brief that directed our advertising agency, Leo Burnett, to present to us a new campaign called Always Like a Girl. We opened the commercial with a provocative question. What does it mean to run like a girl? Results showed that while young girls understand that the phrase run like a girl to mean run as fast as you can, something starts to change at puberty. Doing things like a girl becomes an insult. Our goal was to change the meaning of those words and challenge men and women to reclaim the phrase like a girl to mean being proud of who you are. We closed by challenging consumers and society with, why can't run like a girl also mean win the race? Later on in the preface, she says, what does it mean to lead like a girl, and why is it critical today more than ever? Leading like a girl is leading from the head and the heart, leading with compassion. And she goes on. And there's a lot in this book, and a lot of, the psychology references and science and research and framework. Her own framework, she has these 5 Ps, and there's a lot of practical things, a lot of research references. It really is a playbook for people-centered leadership, both self-leadership and leading others, and surviving in environments where it may be lacking. But I just want to say that one of the things, and there's many things to say about it, it's just been such a joy, and I'm so privileged to count Dalia as one of my dear, dear friends. I'm so proud of her. I'm so excited for this. And I think one of the key central points of this book that relates to reinvention, taking big leaps, going to a new place is, what are the limiting ideas that we have about ourselves? I mean, this is, don't be such a girl, be strong, like as if girls are weak. I mean, that's ridiculous. But that's what we grew up with. I mean, that's truly there. Well, guess what? It's not the only limiting messaging that goes on in our heads. And I think it's so important to pay attention. The law school dean, I remember I was being cavalier in law school with language one time in front of the dean, who was Yale educated, very smart guy. And I threw something out there kind of, lazily or inarticulately. It was not precise. And he says to me, Matt, words matter. And I've always remembered that, because they do matter. And one of the reasons they matter is because they both reveal what it is that we really are thinking, and they also reinforce thoughts. And the more that we can use our words and really create feedback loops to understand what it is we're saying, and also be mindful that some of the things we're saying may reveal a very limiting, a harsh, a negative belief about ourselves, about others, well, then that we have an opportunity to open ourselves up. That's when the acceleration forward can happen, when we open ourselves up. The problem with run like a girl being negative is that if I believe it as a man, I don't believe in your potential if you're a woman, subtly, and deep in my mind. How does that get translated into my decisions when I'm running a company, when I'm making hiring decisions and promotions, when I'm limiting my ability to get input from a diverse group of people because I have these messages that are deeply ingrained that I may not even be aware of? So there's so many different angles to this, but I just think this book, in addition to many, many other gifts, is both a personal reminder of how we each can make a huge impact, taking pain and trauma and turning it into growth. And I'm so proud of Dalia, but also it's just a great reminder. What are the limiting beliefs? I may not have created that belief. It may come from society, from other people, whatever. That's fine. but I still need to be constantly looking out for those limiting beliefs because they keep coming back, They're around. They're easy to pick up and they're hard to put down. In some ways, we never really, once a tape is written, it never gets erased. So, great time to pick up a new book in the summer, Dare to Lead Like a Girl. She didn't ask me to talk about this today. I just feel compelled. And also a great reminder to look at what are those limiting beliefs, the tapes that are not working for me and not working for others. And I tell you what, if you've got a good, healthy ecosystem around you of people who can give you feedback, honestly, you're going to end up seeing what those are eventually if you keep seeking. So there are ways to do it. Listen, I'm going to be on the road next week, heading to Washington, D.C. We're doing some really intense work there with a team, and I'm excited for that. But I intend on doing this podcast every day and even on the road. So you may hear a different audio quality, but I will be putting out new episodes, daily. And so we're just figuring it out as we go. I was afraid when I started this show, like, can I do this every day? And you know what? I'm excited every day to share a little bit of what I'm thinking, what's going on. And I hope it's inspiring and helpful to somebody out there. So, all right. So with that, find me on Twitter @MattStoneCo, @MattStoneCo. I post the announcement to the episode every day there, and I'll be posting a little bit more stuff in the coming weeks as I'm getting ramped up on Twitter. I really have avoided Twitter a long time. You can also find the website mattstone.co. And I've had a couple people do the readiness assessment recently. I'm so excited about that. And I encourage you, if you're thinking about a big change in your life, a new initiative, going somewhere you've never gone before, changing your company, rebranding everything, or you want to change your career, leave a job and start your own thing, a big leap into the semi-unknown. It's a great way to kind of check your mindset. So go check it out at mattstone.co. You'll see a big button for the readiness assessment and a link in the top menu as well. It's easy to find. And take the assessment, see how it comes out for you. All right, we went a little bit long today, but I wanted to share more about the book and just congratulate my dear friend and colleague and author, Dalia Feldheim, for her fantastic book, Dare to Lead Like a Girl, How to Survive and Thrive in the Corporate Jungle, out now in hard copy. So go get the book, share it with a friend, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thanks for listening. Until next time, bye-bye for now.